Welcome to a Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization Dirt Road Roundtable Drive. We hiked into this remote lake on top of the Uinta mountains of Utah, and we were lucky to make it to the lake. Lots of Bigfoot sightings up here, so we wanted to check for Bigfoot activity. We found a suspect Bigfoot track. It's a great time at the edge of the snow line to track because the ground in certain places is muddy, wet. And we found it in a really damp spot. Still actually had some snow on it. It busted through the snow and into the dirt and grass. Now this is where a large concentration, the largest concentration of Bigfoot sighting reports is in and around these Uinta mountains of Utah. We're just under 10,000 feet elevation right here. We're so high in elevation that it can snow any month of the year. Right in the middle of July, it'll snow up here. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, and if you're not, just go to our YouTube and look up this video. It should be the same video name. I'll put down in the description of this video a bunch of the Bigfoot sighting reports from in and around the Uinta Mountains. A lot of really neat, interesting Bigfoot sighting reports.
We went as far as we could on this road today. We got to the point where the snow was and mud was just too bad, so we had to turn around. And it was kind of nice where we turned around because that's where we decided to hike. And we found that lake that we've never been to.
Yeah, that was our first time hiking into that lake. Lower down on the mountain, we found a good set of moose tracks, hoping we get to see it because those tracks were huge. And yesterday,
we did see a moose
on our way into base camp. A big old bull. Jenny spotted it.
I just can't believe how big they get.
And he was pure black, head to toe. Sometimes they'll have different shades of brown, gray,
tan on the legs, not so much on the body. But his whole body was black. I didn't think we'd be hiking in snow today, but I got up to my knees.
Yeah, we got up to our knees a few times hiking in and out that lake. It was fun.
We didn't see an underground little river running where we were walking, so we just fell into that. That was super surprising.
Yeah, there was a river running under the deep snow. That snow was knee deep, and then we fell through and went down to our waists practically in some of those. I told Jenny, I was like, I'm hitting every freaking hole under the snow, and then she figured it out. She's like, we're walking on a river.
It was like a little runoff creek.
Yeah, we filmed some of that hike in and out.
We've seen a lot of deer today. It's still kind of cool up here, so... Oh, did you see that little guy?
One under the cattle guard.
He has a little chipmunk. Still cool enough up here for them to wander around in the day and be comfortable.
Yeah, you guys will find in our videos that a lot of times we're Bigfooting right at the snow line. There are resources at the edge of the snow line that attract the elk, deer, other animals, bear, and we think Bigfoot too, because the stats show that Bigfoot follows the elk herds, or is at the same elevation the elk are. So it's using the same resources as the elk, and maybe even using the elk as a resource. But at the edge of the snow lines, you got usually drinkable water that's melting off. It also creates bloomage, like especially mushrooms. Mushrooms will start blooming in areas like this, or coming up. Also, when the mosquitoes come into season, the mosquitoes don't like it to be cold. So if you're on the snow line, it's getting cold enough at night that the mosquitoes don't like those areas. Elk avoid mosquitoes, and Squatch is probably the same if he can. I would.
Yeah, who likes mosquitoes?
I know I always tell Jenny when we watch the Naked and Afraid show, I'm just like, I can't do mosquitoes. If they put me in a spot where the mosquitoes were eating me up, I'd probably tap out in an hour or so. I just can't handle that type of torture.
Just the noise is irritating.
Yeah, in your ears.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff those Naked and Afraid people do that I wouldn't do unless I had to. And some of the stuff they do, I'm just like, yeah, I'd rather die. And then when they're like eating grasshoppers, it's just like, nah, I'm good. I say that now, but when you're starving, they might look good. I don't know. I just hope I never have to be to that point. When we're driving in and out of these hiking areas, we're always on the look for the mud, the water on the side of the road, the snow. See Bigfoot shaped tracks, we'll stop and check it out. Every once in a great while, we'll get lucky and find Bigfoot tracks on a drive in and out. Especially if there's snow. What I'm always hoping for is the over 50%ers. Sighting reports from the front seat of the car. We'll catch it with this dash cam that we're doing this roundtable drive. I'll bet you if we tried this last week, we wouldn't have been able to get in here.
No. It's just too muddy and...
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're out of here. When Jenny and I drove past here this morning, there was people having a daycation camping picnic thing. Oh, I can still smell their fire that they had.
Yeah.
At first I thought they were camping, but looks like they just come up for the day like we did. Too damn cold at night. Our base camp is almost 3,000 feet.
Lower than this?
And it was so cold last night. I didn't want to get out of the sleeping bag this morning. It was so cold.
Yeah, it was between 30 and 40, somewhere in there.
Yep. I don't like to tent camp if it's going to get 32 or lower.
No, I don't like to breathe in that cold air.
Yeah, I prefer to tent camp when it's getting at least 40 at night.
Yeah, that's good. 40's good.
But last night I think it was like 35. It was so damn cold. I got up to go to the bathroom and I was just like, when I come back I was just like, I can't believe that Jenny and I used to tent camp in the wintertime.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we've been out there in like November, December, and February tent camping. I mean, that's when I was younger and my body could handle those. Yeah, I remember that one time at Palisades, we had to set our tent up in the snow, and we each had 2 sleeping bags, and we had to taco the sleeping bags together to stay warm. We started out with just stacking both of them on top like a blanket, and you just had to totally be burrito tacoed in like a chalupa.
Chalupa.
Sure, it would be a chalupa to a bear, but it was the time of year where I don't.
No,
it was cold and snowy enough. I don't think the bears were out. Yeah, the crazy stuff we used to do in our early Bigfooting years. We still get out there year round. Just don't tent camp in the middle of winter.
Will you back up?
Nope.
Just about 20 feet. Look at that.
What do you see?
Just back up more.
Oh, a structure.
Okay, stop. Take a picture of it.
I'll GPS it if it's worth coming back looking at. We're going to be back in this area in 2 weeks with Brody. Right now, Jenny and I base camped lower down. We didn't even know if we could get in here yet. We did a scouting deal to see if it was worth camping with Brody and doing an expedition in 2 weeks. I'm amazed we got up here high enough to hike into that lake.
Yeah.
This is going to be a great place to expedition. As warm as it's been in a couple of weeks, there probably won't be much of this snow on the side of the road left. Gosh, look at that. That's a good solid 3 feet deep, that bank on the right.
Yeah.
4 feet in some spots.
It's just the sun only hits it on the one side, so just the one side's melted.
That was a fun hike. I didn't even think we were going to find a place to hike today. At least up on the top of the mountain.
It was really wet.
Yeah, lots of mud, standing water, and snow.
Running water.
That's the best bet to find fresh Bigfoot tracks, though.
Yeah, when I got done, my feet were bright red.
In the summertime, the ground gets too hard. and the Bigfoot don't leave very good tracks for you, so.
No, not up here. So,
That's another reason we follow the snow line.
tadpole should be coming out here in the next couple weeks.
Those poor cold tadpoles. It amazes me the amount of frogs that start showing up in the summer and fall months up here.
There's so many, all different kinds. My favorite are the little teeny ones that just will hold on to your finger. They're just so tiny.
Yep, and they're not toxic. You can eat them. It makes you wonder if the Bigfoot grabs handfuls of them up at these mountaintop lakes. We've seen snakes hunting the frogs up here.
And birds.
Yeah, on top of Yellowstone Canyon, we hiked up on to one of those mountaintop springs, a couple of them that are like ponds. And we were finding so many frogs and snakes, and we were finding Bigfoot tracks and structures, and that's why I was like, well, there's a water source. What's the Bigfoot using for food? Well, the time that we were up there was raspberries, strawberries, Oregon berries, raspberries. Did I say raspberries? Thimbleberries.
Yeah, there was a lot of berries that year.
I remember we sat inside that one raspberry bush on our hike with Mike and Brody, and I probably ate a couple dozen raspberries while we sat there. So good. These mountaintop wild raspberries and strawberries, they are so much sweeter than the garden variety kind that you buy in the supermarket. They're smaller, but sweeter. This mountain we're on drops down almost right on top of Blind Frog Ranch. Don't know if you guys watch the show, but Blind Frog Ranch is almost straight off of the mountain where we're at now. And then you go about another 16, 17 miles and you hit Skinwalker Ranch. So isn't it just crazy that this giant Bigfoot mountain that's known for Bigfoot activity, Uinta Mountains, is right next to these paranormal places? Oh, and if you guys watch the show, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, is that what it's called?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Right down there is the Uinta Basin, and there's a lot of paranormal shows about the Uinta Basin just besides Blind Frog Ranch, Skinwalker Ranch. There's a lot of people that say, like Jack Osborne, that it's just full of paranormal activity, and that's like, I'm not talking aliens, but UFOs. And then of course the Skinwalker legends. Just a crazy place, but that's what you're looking down into now. The Uinta Basin. Yeah, Jack Osborne does an investigation here on his Haunted Highway show, and then several years later on Portals to Hell. One of his very first few episodes of the series, or the television show.
So pretty up here.
Aspen and birch trees are just budding. They don't have their leaves yet. Those ones had some purple buds.
Hey, somebody just showed up.
Yeah, they weren't here this morning. They showed up after we passed this morning. Setting up camp. Good place to camp. Hope you guys enjoy these driving roundtables. There's a bigger chance of us seeing a Bigfoot on one of these than any one of our hikes. We cover so much area. And you guys get to see the bigger picture of where Bigfoot lives than a 4 or 5 mile hike.
Yeah, it's the 20 miles or so it takes to get in and out.
And this is all Bigfoot territory. Bigfoot's been seen on this mountain, on the edges, down in the valley, on all sides.
Woodpecker flying right in front of us. On the way to base camp yesterday, we saw some nesting bald eagles.
There's like 2 or 3 lakes close to where we saw them. Makes me wonder if that's why they like nesting there. Easy access to several lakes for getting fish. There's so many rabbits, squirrels, and minks.
Oh, lots of minks.
Yeah, there in that area there used to be there still is a mink farm, and a ton got let out by an activist, and so now that entire canyon is just full of mink. And I know people personally that have had their fish stolen by the mink that fish when they fish in those rivers.
They'll come right up to you and snatch it out of your basket or if it's on the ground and run away with it. Weasels are smart.
There's a place that I used to fish as a kid all the time that an ermine, those white weasels, the cute ones, and some of them have black tips to their tails.
Those are my favorite.
Oh, they're so curious. I used to have them come up to me on this dock I used to fish on in the Salt River in Wyoming, and I know he was looking for handouts or trying to get my bait. He was cute. Wow, look how green the valley is right now.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, we're looking down on Blind Frog Ranch from here.
Somewhere over there. We don't know exactly where it's at, but it's right there somewhere.
It's beautiful. This is a great place to
come and you look for
UFOs and what do they call them now? UHPs?
UHPs? Is that what it is?
Unidentified aerial phenomenon. UAPs, something like that.
Yeah. Little specks in the sky, you just don't know what it is.
But
and,
look, we're set up some lawn chairs right here, and you can sit half the night watching for them.
Straight out from right here, straight out, is Skinwalker.
Gosh.
Just right there to the right, where you can see that pool of water out there.
One of the nights that we camp here with Brody, we should set up some lawn chairs right here for a few hours after dark and watch for that activity.
Yeah.
Yep, Skinwalker Ranch is off that way too. On a good day, I can pick out the landmarks and the little lake that's by there. It's a little bit hazy. I think what's going on is It's been wet, and now it's a warm day, and I think it's the moisture coming up out of the valley, kind of making a little bit of a haze. I'm having a hard time picking out Skinwalker Ranch right now, but it's out there. It's out there about 16, 17 miles from where we're sitting.
I think that's the reservoir right there.
I think it is too. And I notice a rock formation near it that looks like it's part of the ranch. So yeah, you could sit right here and watch this part of the Uinta Basin. You can watch over Skinwalker Ranch, watch over Blind Frog Ranch, and watch for the orbs, unexplained aerial activity that this area is known for. Alright, well, this looks like a good place to end our Bigfoot Roundtable Drive. We call them Dirt Road Roundtable Drives. This one was more of a muddy one. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.